Hello, Miss Bell's Algebra 2 class. I'm looking at this Hero Work Joker quadratic formula assignment. This is, what is today? The 27th, 4/27. And I'm going to take a look at the odd numbers for you here. We're using the quadratic formula on the trinomials, and we're going to find the answers in the bank to learn part of the joke. So you're going to put your answers that correspond with these phrases or letters or whatever, and put them in order. I'm just going to do the odd ones with you. So let's take a look at number 1. We have this, it's all set in standard form. So we have our A, B, and C, and then we plug in our A, B's, and C's into this formula. You might want to pause that and write that down. So here's where we put our A's, our B's, and our C. Okay, so we put that into the formula, so it looks like this, and you could pause this as I'm moving forward. Everything underneath the square root is going to be completed first, and that comes down to 25. And then you can see where I have a square root of 25 is 5. It's either positive 5 or negative 5. And so we are going to figure out that that is going to be negative 1 and negative 6 are going to be our possible answers for number 1. So you would find negative 1, negative 6. I think it goes negative 6 first, and I changed that up. They like to do the subtraction first for some reason on these. I always do the positive first, but I switch it up here. I start to do, so it doesn't matter in the order that you have them in. So the first answer is going to be but, so you're going to put the word but right there. Going on to number 3, this is in standard form already, so we just go, we identify our A, B, and C. A is 1 because there's just one H2 there, okay? Remember that. And go ahead and plug those numbers into the quadratic equation, the quadratic formula, sorry. And then this all becomes 256 is that answer. And that's going to be negative 16 and positive 16. And when you complete this problem, you end up with negative 12 and 4. Remember, any fraction is just a division problem, and you just do your division and get those two answers. So negative 12 and 4 are going to be your answers for number 3. Moving on to number 5. Number 5 is in standard form for you already. So there's your A, B, and your C. So my A, B, and C, I plug it into the quadratic formula, and I work the problem out. What's underneath the square root, I get 169. Square root of 169 is going to be plus or minus 13. Okay, so here's minus 13. That gives me, when I'm all said and done, a negative 4 and a positive 13. So I just take negative 13 plus 13 divided by 4. That's 10 divided by 4, which is 2.5. So negative 4 and 2.5. If you're having difficulties with these, you can go to a calculator, a quadratic formula calculator, and just plug in your A, B, and C. And then you could see the steps done for you. This is very helpful. This is the last one that I did just to check. I like to, check myself and make sure that I didn't miss any steps. Number 7. This is in your standard form. So A, B, and C is right there. So I have my A, my B, and my C. I plug in my A, B's, and C's into the quadratic formula, and then I get square root of 384. This one works out weird, and I was looking at your answers. It's not in terms of the square root. They actually just take it down to decimals. So this one, ends up being an ugly decimal, but it ends up being one of the answers, negative 4.945 and negative 0.05. It's because the square root of negative 384 is 19.595. Now it goes on. Okay, number 9. This needs to be put in standard form. Here I have it in standard form. I just take that 4 and I subtract it from both sides to put it in standard form. So now I have my A, B, and my C. I list them there. I plug them into the quadratic formula. That quadratic formula, the square root, underneath the square root is 144, that is 12. So it's minus 12 and plus 12. So this becomes -2, and this becomes 0.4. So you find those answers for number 9 and start solving that puzzle at the end. Number 11, this needs to be put into standard form. So all I did was I subtracted 80 from both sides in order to get the 80 on this side. And so I have 5, 0, and -80. This is what my quadratic formula ends up looking like. So I just have 0 plus or minus square root of 1600. 1600, square root of 1600 is 40. 40 divided by 10 is 4, and -40 divided by 10 is -4. So we have 4, -4. When you get to number 12, you're going to need to put it in standard form. So you're going to add an h2 to both sides. So this is going to become 9h2 plus 4h minus 16. Okay, so there's your A, your B, and your C. Good luck with the rest, and hopefully you find out the puzzle. Albert Einstein was a genius, but what? We know that this was but, so you'll be able to solve that with all these answers. Good luck.